Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about software development, and we're going to talk about what is software development. We will talk about some components of software development in a very general sense, and then in other segments we will talk about development process models, agile methodologies, and requirements gathering. Let me say that we're going to be getting much of the content here from the textbook we're suggesting to use in this course, John Dooley, Software Development, Design, and Coding with Patterns, Debugging, Unit Testing, and Refactoring from 2017. Also, I have some content here supported by work from my colleague, Dr. Timothy Bowman. So for more in-depth information on these topics, please also refer to the Dooley text. So, what is software development? Software development is the process of taking a set of requirements from a user, a problem statement, analyzing them, designing a solution to the problem, and then implementing that as solution on a computer. So we're talking about software development. Let's note here the word on software, and we're not talking about hardware development or other kinds of engineering projects. However, some of the methodology and processes we discuss here can be used for different kinds of product development, very broadly stated. We have another statement here. Software development is a narrowing of the focus of software engineering to just that part concerned with the creation of the actual software. And we can think of the software as a program or a component of a computer. So as software engineering is a broader type of activity concerning with various kinds of maybe operating system characteristics and deep computer problems or deep computer solutions. The software development we're mostly concerned with has to do with programs that are user-centered. That's where we're going to be focused here. And once again, we see these words here: analysis, design, and release. So analysis is, well, what is analysis? What is analysis? Analyze something. Break it down into parts, uh, understand the communication of people in an organization, and understand what they need, what their needs are, into components that are comprehensible for us then to design a system. And since we're talking about software systems, often there will be a kind of user interface. We call that graphic user interface. And there will be like images and boxes and text. But much of that design does come from computer programming and coding language, as we'll also see in the programming module for this course. So there will be kind of structural statements of if this, then that. No, I lost my pen here. If x equals y, then print the statement as such. And so that's part of the design of software development. And then the release, of course, which is kind of getting it out the door so people can actually use the system. So you see these terms analysis and design often when we're talking about software development, because that's a major part of the activities of software development, analysis and design. And we also call this, sometimes we call this system development or information system development, which is a more broad term and also may include um, hardware acquisitions and other hardware components. So we'll think about these here just very generally, but remember there are these different levels and dimensions. So something about what we need for software development, and we can think of these as components or as principles as well. And note the not just the technological, but also the social characteristics here. So well integrated teams, So we need to know the strengths and weaknesses of each member. The members need to communicate often and gain experience across multiple projects together. So have to have good teamwork. We'll also talk more about teams later in this course. Good communication among team members, kind of mentioned that's a requirement or a component of well integrated teams. And this often needs to be a day-to-day communication. A good communication with the customer, with the client, or with the stakeholders involved. So now, of course, among the team members, but depending on the level of which you are working, you may need to deal with the clients more directly or with other stakeholders in the companies involved. If you use agile development, it encourages customers to be a part of the team. By customers, sometimes we also call them stakeholders, our clients or users. A process everyone can buy into. You need a process that allows for the meeting of requirements, schedule, and produces quality results with reasonable expectations. So some more notes: stay up to date, constant communication, so all team members know where each other's in the process. Be honest, admit when you're behind so that the schedule can be adapted and the project lead and the customer understands. Have the right tools and practices, ensure that the right tools are chosen before the project begins. Realize you don't know everything. New requirements will always be uncovered. So some mixture of tools and practices, but also broader statements of principles of interaction among people and among ourselves in order to accomplish software development in a successful way. Next, we will be talking about software development process models.